Greetings. It's with my greatest pleasure that I welcome each and every one of you to the 15th edition of the United Nations Simulation Conference hosted by the GEMS Arun Indian School. My name is Bibin Baldev Raj and I will be serving as your Secretary General for this year.
This year, the world we live in was put on trial.
A trial regarding how the people we choose to run the nations we live in exploit their power.
A trial to see how the rights we think are elementary are exploited and denied.
A trial to judge how we humans, despite being a part of the same race, are so divided against one another.
A few withstood the trials, but many came out at the negative spectrums of scales.
This year at the UNSC, we aim to seek solutions to these very problems, but not only by accounting the nations responsible in a trial, but rather by judging the acts of the entire humanity under a microscope.
This is why we have a range of hand-picked committees and agendas to address these very acts.
Firstly, a body that is centered around disarmament, global issues, and threats to peace that jeopardize international security.
Introducing the United Nations General Assembly, first committee of which I, Jisha Reddy, will be serving as the president.
I, Arjun Narendra Kumar, will serve as a vice president.
Coming in with the most apex committee of the United Nations, the United Nations Security Council, I, Siddharth Nair, will be serving as president.
And I, Riddhi Sharma, will be your vice president.
In today's world that has been plagued by the denial of basic human rights to many, we have perhaps one of the most relevant committees of all time.
The Human Rights Council, led by myself, Shruti Satish, serving as the president of the HRC.
And I, Aditya Thete, your vice president.
Next committee, which has been instrumental in creating and supporting several international days such as the International Women's Day and the World Teachers Day.
We give you the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. I, Rakshita Senthil, will be serving as your president.
I, Sridhar Jagtap, your vice president.
Ever wondered which United Nations committee is tasked with the oversight of the internet, drugs and crime? Well, our committee does just that. I, Candice Mendoza, will be serving as the president.
And I, Sabah Nadeem, will serve you as the Vice President of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime.
Given the current COVID-19 stricken world we live in, we believe the next committee is perhaps the most important committee in today's day and date.
Lastly but not the least, we have the World Health Organization, and I, Ummi Muhammad, shall be serving as your president.
And I, Ganga Raj, will be serving as your vice president.
Leonardo da Vinci has rightly stated, I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Being willing is not enough. We must do.
Knowing about and wanting to see a change in the world we live in is not enough. It is our duty as leaders of tomorrow to step up and do the needful.
We hope that youngsters like you and I, who quite literally are the leaders of tomorrow, don't create more followers in our pursuit of success, but rather that we create more leaders so that they can carry forward the change and our legacies after our time. With that, I would like to thank you all and wish you the very best of luck.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to address you all virtually like this. The United Nations Simulation Conference always excites me to see the passion, your energy,